court system being
No.
tried so many times?
No. I would hope people would understand that public safety is a priority of my office, and I'm going to focus on public safety. I mean, this is in a neighborhood that the defense had characterized as a high crime area, and yet we had two families, two couples who are living there. I don't know that they would prefer to live in that environment. Obviously, it's close to the jail and it's close to a homeless population. But those two couples ran to the fire. Mr. Kepler ran from the incident while two couples ran down there to try and render aid to somebody they hardly even knew. That speaks a lot about that neighborhood.
How much of a difference do you all think having Josh Mills testify made in this case?
Significant. And that was probably some of the argument that we could have expected. You know, for the first time we had the opportunity to have a transient person. You've heard about Mr. Mills, a very sad story. A veteran who has suffered considerably in his life and was homeless and transient. We were finally able to locate him after the first 3 trials, and I think his contribution to the case was significant. He was sitting on the front porch with Jeremy's brother Michael, saw everything that went down. What we had to deal with before was this effort to try and say, well, why is it a state called Josh Mills? Josh Mills knows more about this case. You know, those were the things that were being said. So finally being able, in answer to the question, finally being able to locate Josh Mills and allow that young man to testify the way he did and have to withstand the cross-examination that he had to endure, which was punishing in my opinion and very degrading. My heart goes out to Mr. Mills. He provided a service to our country, and I'm thankful for it, and I hope he can get the recovery he needs in dealing with whatever demons he has.
He mentioned he was homeless during this time. Is that why it was hard locating him?
Correct. Yeah. Now, Mr. O'Carroll repeatedly during this case, when Mr. Mills was on the stand, repeatedly, and I think at least 4 times, it asked him, well, where's your residence? And every time Mr. Mills said, sir, I don't know how else to answer the question. I'm homeless. This man's been living on the streets for several years now, and you can only imagine what that's like for a prosecutor or law enforcement when you're trying to track down somebody who has no address or phone. So we're very fortunate to be able to finally locate him and apparently back in our community, and I think it was significant.